Grand Admiral Talon stood before the High Council of the Galactic Empire, his 6 limbs trembling despite his best efforts to maintain composure. The chamber was silent except for the soft hum of the life support systems. 12 pairs of eyes watched him from the shadowed tiers above. "Speak, Admiral," commanded High Counselor Vex, her voice echoing through the cavernous hall. "Explain how we lost an entire battle fleet to a species that has barely left their solar system." Talon's outer membrane flickered with distress colors. "The humans, they are not what we thought they were. The Empire had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 cycles. 200 species bowed to their technological might. Resistance was rare and quickly crushed. Yet somehow, a minor species from a backwater planet had decimated their forces. We followed protocol," Talon continued. "Upon discovering their transmissions, we sent probes. Their technology was primitive. They had only reached their moon and sent basic rovers to neighboring planets. They still burned fossil fuels. They fought among themselves constantly. And yet," Counselor Vex's voice cut like a blade, "they destroyed our armada." "Yes," whispered Talon. "That was our first mistake. We underestimated them." The holographic display activated in the center of the chamber, showing images of Earth, a beautiful blue-green orb. The display zoomed in to show cities, highways, primitive spacecraft. "The conquest should have been simple," Talon said. "We sent the standard intimidation force, 50 warships to their major population centers. We expected immediate surrender." The display shifted to show Imperial warships appearing over Earth's cities. Then, unexpectedly, it showed those same warships exploding. Their technology was primitive, but their tactics. Talon paused. "They sacrificed their own cities to destroy our ships. They had nuclear weapons, crude but effective when detonated at close range. They chose destruction over submission." A murmur ran through the council. Such behavior was unprecedented. "So they are savage," said Counselor Drex. "We have dealt with savages before." "No." Talon's voice strengthened. "This is what we misunderstood. They are not simply savage. They are adaptable. After our first attack, they reverse-engineered the technology from our fallen ships. Within days, they had modified their nuclear weapons with elements of our shielding technology." The display showed human engineers working frantically around wreckage, their primitive tools connecting to advanced Imperial technology. "We sent a larger force," Talon continued. 200 ships. They were ready. They had unified every nation, every faction. They had one purpose: survival. The display showed the second wave of Imperial ships engaging with crew but effective human vessels, retrofitted military aircraft, and hastily constructed spacecraft using salvaged Imperial tech. They lured our ships into traps. They used their own planet's magnetic field to disrupt our systems. They employed strategies that made no logical sense, sacrificing resources without apparent benefit, only to spring ambushes later. Counselor Vex leaned forward. "And our telepaths, did they provide no advantage?" "That was our third mistake," Talon replied. "Human minds are chaotic. Our telepaths could read their thoughts but couldn't predict their actions. Humans think one thing and do another. They feel fear but charge forward anyway. They consider self-preservation, then willingly sacrifice themselves." "Impossible," whispered a counselor from the shadows. "No species behaves contrary to its survival instinct," said another. "Humans do," said Talon simply. "And more than that, they learn at an extraordinary rate. By our third assault, they had weapons that matched our own. They had adapted our shield technology, our propulsion systems, even aspects of our communication network." The display showed human ships, ugly and asymmetrical but unmistakably incorporating Imperial technology, engaging and destroying the elegant vessels of the Empire. "Their planet is now surrounded by a defense system we cannot penetrate. They have established bases on their moon and neighboring planets." Talon hesitated. "Continue, Admiral," ordered Vex. "They have sent messages to all our subject worlds, messages explaining how they defeated us, offering to share their methods." The council chamber erupted in chaos. Silence. Vex's voice cut through the din. When order was restored, she turned back to Talon. What do the humans demand? That is perhaps the most disturbing aspect, replied Talon. They demand nothing. They have simply stated that they wish to be left alone and that any species seeking freedom may contact them. And if we attack again? Talon's color shifted to deep indigo, the color of absolute certainty. Then we will lose, High Counselor. Our greatest mistake was not underestimating their technology. It was challenging a species that thrives on being challenged. They are a contradiction, he continued. Individually fragile but collectively resilient. Primitive yet innovative. Peaceful until threatened, then terrifyingly effective at warfare. They call it humanity's spirit, this capacity to face impossible odds and somehow prevail. Vex was silent for a long moment. Then, your recommendation, Admiral. Peace, said Talon without hesitation. Offer them peace and hope they accept, because if they decide to expand beyond their system. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. In the vast silence of the council chamber, the once mighty leaders of the Galactic Empire contemplated a future where they were no longer the apex civilization of the stars. Their greatest mistake, challenging humanity, had revealed a truth they had never before considered. Sometimes the most dangerous species are not those with the most advanced technology, but those with the most powerful will to survive. And humanity, it seemed, would survive them all.